Hey everyone, it is our 50th episode. I can't even believe we are at
Yay.
episode 50. And it feels
Wow.
like it's gone by so fast.
So
It's
fast.
it's just, and we'll kind of touch on this more in the conversation we're going to have, but it's when Kim and I are together recording these, we're just in flow. It's like,
Yeah,
so there is no
100%.
time. It's just, we just are. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. But before
Okay.
we do, so obviously it's Tia here, and
And I'm Kim.
got to do that so you can recognize our voices when we talk.
Mhm.
We're going to start with the quote, and then so we're going to be continuing the conversation that we had in the last episode about talking about the leaves and the wind and which way you flow. But yeah, so that was episode 49. So today, a quote from Nisargadatta Maharaj. Oh, I practiced this. Maharaja. I probably butchered it again. We try so hard to work on pronunciation. Whatever happens, happens to you, by you, through you. You are the creator, enjoyer, and destroyer of all you perceive. And I just love that quote. Oh my goodness.
Enjoyer and destroyer of all that you perceive. Wow.
So powerful because it is. It's our, everyone views the world from their perception. And so we're deciding what we're seeing. Just like in the last episode, you were deciding those leaves on the trees were beautiful. And
Yep.
then you went to destroyer of, oh no, winter's coming. So you're the creator of those beliefs of what your life experience is versus just being neutral.
100%. 100%. So we're going to start out by talking about being neutral versus
Yep.
numbing. But I will first share what happened just literally moments ago.
It's amazing.
And yes, it is so amazing. No coincidences at all.
Ever.
Divine
That's
inspiration.
right.
So I was sharing with Tia earlier before recording that I felt, I guess, maybe a little bit torn. So that duality, that dichotomy inside of myself between doing podcasts and teaching and doing client sessions. So I was telling Tia that I like 100%. Well, first of all, I was telling her I feel overwhelmed at times by all that I have to do. Like, the amount of energy and the amount of time doing podcasts, doing clients, doing all the technology and everything else. But when I'm doing podcasts, I'm so in the zone and I love it. And I'm just flowing. And when we're creating courses, I'm loving it. And I'm just in the zone. And when I'm doing sessions, when I'm in the session, I'm with the client, I am in the zone, no doubt. I just am completely present and 100% there for the person. And there's a lot of energy that goes into preparing for those sessions. So what I realized,
It's huge.
it's what I just realized was, and this goes back to my example in the last episode with the leaves on the tree, the beautiful leaves, is that the reason that I'm having this dichotomy, this internal tug of war going on, this tug of war, the back and forth, the pull at side to side, is because I'm attaching a storyline and a mask, the perfection mask.
This is so huge.
And it's so subtle.
Yes.
It is so subtle. And I think that's why we really want to illustrate this, because we can, I say it's divine inspiration, intervention, because I don't even think I would have been aware if it didn't just like hit me out of nowhere.
Right.
So the reason why I'm feeling that way is because I feel I have to do it all perfectly.
Yep.
All the time. And so my mind, the mental chatter is what's tripping me up, because the mental chatter is, oh my gosh, I had to prepare for this session. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do this. I'm doing this. Like literally, here's my list: podcast, teaching courses, client sessions, Facebook posts, blogs, whatever, manage this technology, that technology, learn Canva, learn Teachable, learn MailChimp, learn all this technology, which is all FFTs. I'm doing all this for the first time.
Yes.
It's all new to me. And then my life, my kids, my husband, the house, the grocery shopping, and like my list is, and the thing is, we all have a list a mile long, right?
Right.
And then yet, if you go back to when we talked a while back in an episode about core values, my core values are inner peace, inner harmony, balance, stillness, wellness, which is almost in complete contradiction. It is to what I just said with my list, only because of the story.
Right.
It's not that my list is that long or that my life is that full. If I take each of those things one at a time, when I'm in the podcast, be in the moment with the podcast. Okay, now done. Next thing, be in the moment for that. Be in the moment for preparing for a client. Be in the moment for grocery shopping. Be present. Be in the moment for making the bed. Be in the moment for whatever. Just like I said in the last episode, with the beautiful trees, just be in the moment of the beautiful trees instead of thinking about the mental chatter of when it's going to be cold. Right. So that's what really gets me so exhausted, when the mental chatter is going on about how much I have to do. I have so much to do. I have so much to do. It's so, just saying those words is so heavy.
I was just going to say, are you feeling like your backpack is weighing
Oh
you
my God,
down?
right? My backpack feels so heavy, and it's only because of the chatter. And that's what we really wanted to really illustrate. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Divine Inspiration, for really helping to clarify that for us, because that's it.
And I love it too, because it's the subtle little layers, and how it's, how the perfectionist mask was a part of why you're feeling this, and how many people do we know talk about, I have so much to do, I just have to do, and oh, you know what, being a grown-up is stressful, there's all this stuff we have to just do, and it's never going to get any better, or when I retire it'll be better. And it's not going to be any different if that's your mindset and that's your internal chatter. It's always going to be that way until you can take that breath, because you know when you're in flow, when you're in the present moment, and you tune out that chatter. You let go of that perfectionism, which is really control, which we really don't necessarily have most of the time. So it's just quieting all of that. It can be there, but you don't have to like jump on the train with those thoughts, right? We've talked about the thought train.
Exactly. And there are still deadlines. Like, let's not not acknowledge that. So we were talking about preparing for our next course. There is a deadline to that.
Yes.
It's not going to serve me well though, if I keep chattering in my head, oh my God, got to get this done. Got to get this done by this date, blah, blah, blah. Because all that's going to do is block my flow.
Yes. And we both experience that as we're creating this next course, which we're super excited to tell you about, but we'll tell you about it when we're ready. But we were talking about it, and we had this one idea for it, and it was going to be longer. And then we realized, no, we want to break it into these smaller pieces. And so we kind of realized that, but we didn't really have what it was going to look like fully. We knew intuitively what it was, but we didn't know how to put it into form. So formless wise, we knew what it was. Form based, we didn't know.
Yeah.
And both of us, what was it, for 4 or 5 days, we were like trying to make it happen. And we didn't know each other was doing this till we connected the next time. And then all of a sudden you had like this inspiration, and you like typed all this stuff up because you weren't focusing on making it happen. You just allowed and were in flow. And so then just like you got this inspiration between the last recording of the episode and now literally taking the garbage out, which there's an interesting metaphor too. Taking out the garbage.
Oh,
you just took out the garbage.
Yes.
Realizing your thoughts. That's really kind of cool. But when we let go of that perfectionism, that to-do list, we naturally get things done because we know what our deadlines are. Like you said, we still live in a world of form. And so we still create our podcast episodes. We record every week and we have a great time doing it, but it is a deadline, right? Because we want to make sure we have several weeks recorded in case one of us gets sick or something. So that's a doing, but we're doing as being, like we're being in the doing.
Right. We're putting the being into the doing.
Mm-hmm.
We're bringing the being into the doing. Right.
And so that being into the doing is what we were talking about in the last episode, the non-duality.
Yes. It's such a different way of living life. It's like, oh my gosh. I mean, honestly, if there was one thing in life to teach, like this is it.
Oh, it's
because
huge.
It's huge. So many of us, majority of population they're just running around, literally that saying, running around like a chicken with its head cut off, right?
Exactly.
Can you see that visual?
Totally.
I mean, that's how we all are operating.
And then with that visual, there's that other piece. Okay, chicken with its head cut off. Your mind is completely disconnected from your body.
Exactly.
And your spirit. So that chicken with their head cut off, do, go, 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 is such an interesting visual of body, mind, spirit connection, which is so necessary to find this place of non-duality and neutrality. You can't be neutral without a body, mind, spirit connection and nurturing.
Exactly.
I don't think. At least for me, it doesn't work.
I don't think so either. So that's good that you said the neutrality. So let's talk about being neutral versus numb. So because I was like, okay, so I was a little bit confused at first with the 0 point in terms of, going back to the analogy of the beautiful trees versus the dead trees. So I understood that I didn't want to go into one or the other.
Yeah.
But then I questioned myself and said, well, does that mean then I don't even take in or relish or enjoy the beauty of the trees? And that's not what we're saying either. Mm-hmm. That's not what the middle ground is to just be numb. No, yes, we are humans. We have a heart, we have, a body that has, a mind. And so, yes, we do feel our feelings, even if the feeling is sad, is anger, is fear, like just you feel it in the moment, just letting go of any storyline, or being aware of the storyline first. Watch your thoughts, watch your inner dialogue. Those are all like ways to deal with all this, and then feel the feeling. That's so key, is to feel the feelings.
Right. And when we truly feel the feeling, whether it's a good feeling or a bad feeling, even though it's neither or. But when you're feeling that feeling without attaching the thoughts and the stories, it doesn't stay in your body.
No.
Because it releases, because
that's that 90-second thing.
Exactly. So when you don't attach a story, you can notice it coming in and be like, no, I'm just going to feel this anger right now. Or I'm going to feel the sadness, or I'm going to feel the beauty that I'm seeing of what nature is providing me to witness in this moment. And then you move to the next moment. And so that's that neutrality, where the numbness is more like we were talking about in the last episode, always trying to be super positive all the time, or I'm super negative all the time, or I'm avoiding all of it and just putting my head in the sand. So we're numbing, so we don't have to feel, because we don't want to feel, because that hurts and it's uncomfortable and we don't like how it feels.
Yeah. So that's a good distinction between being neutral and numb and feeling numb. We absolutely do. That is a part of why we're here in this form, is to experience life.
Yes.
Experience it.
All of
it. The sadness, the pain, the grief, the loss, the joy, the expansiveness, the stillness, all of it, to just, and again, going back to the chicken with its head cut off, we were not taught that. We were conditioned to not feel.
Very much so.
Right. And to not just live in the moment. And we did it though, as kids, when we came into the world, we intuitively did that.
Yeah.
It's just as we started to put the masks on,
right.
that we stopped.
Yeah. I have a memory, actually have a picture of it in my daughter's, the pictures that you take a bazillion of when they're little.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was film camera. We did not have digital cameras when my kids were little. And it was of one of my daughters, and it was a patio door. It was in her last house, and it had a full glass patio door all the way to the bottom. And she was sitting there, perfect alignment in her body, perfect posture, sitting, looking out the window at the trees, at whatever she was looking at. And she would sit there for half an hour and just be like totally zen in the moment. She may pick up a toy and hold it on her lap or something. But I remember just watching and be like, is she okay? She's not doing, I had this thought process of like, is she, you start to worry, you go down that thought train, right?
Yeah. What is she doing? Yeah.
Wait, but all she was doing was literally in the moment. And now I look at that picture that's in the photo album, and it just brings me such peace, because it's like we all have that ability to just be in the present moment without attaching. She wasn't sitting there at 18 months old thinking, oh, okay, I got to make sure mom's going to have lunch ready soon, so I got to make sure I finish playing with it. There was none of that.
I know, just being in the moment.
So like you said, we all have the ability to do that, but we have to train it. So how do we train it? How do we bring that ability to come back into the present moment and let the chatter go? You want to share what we're talking about?
Awareness first. You have to have awareness for sure. Meditation absolutely is key, critical in terms of bringing that back. And the awareness piece, like what you were saying just with your daughter, is so the same thing happened with the leaves. Once I was able to just really be in the moment with the beautiful trees, and I was just like feeling that in my body. So that's another one, is coming into our body and just having that felt experience. That felt experience that I had was the same felt experience that I had when I was a kid, when I was playing in the leaves, or even I always bring up the example of being at my aunt's camp on the lake. Like that for me, and I share it all the time, is the stillness of the lake, is just that stillness, that connect is what's in me. That's the true self within me. And it brings me home. So when I was connecting in my body to the feeling that I had with just enjoying the beautiful foliage in the moment, I felt it inside. And it was just like, just is.
And you even had just that exhale right now.
Just the exhale. It just is. Beautiful. It's like, and when you're in that place of 0 point, when things they just are, like, that's it. There's nothing else. That mental chatter is just quiet. And then that goes back to my core values of there's the inner stillness. There's the inner harmony.
Right.
Because it just is. And that's another one. So it's accept the as is, be in the as is.
Yeah. And it's being in that as is, in that present moment, we realize there's nothing to search for. There's nothing to long for. Not that you can't have desires, because again, we're living a human experience. But you realize when you are at that space, when you had that big exhale and like you were there, everything you need, you have with you. You don't have to go out there and find yourself. You're already here.
It's here.
We hear that from people all the time. I want to know what my purpose and my passion is. I want to know this. I want this. I want this. But you already have it. You just need to learn how to access it. That's it.
And I think what's key also, because I see this happening a lot, and I have been victim to it, I have done it for most of my life as well, it's that chasing of something. So let's use with the duality of, let's say, getting a new car, right? Like, oh, you get a new car, super excited. There's like, oh my gosh, can't wait, blah, blah, that whole new car feeling versus the duality after a few months or so, when it's not new anymore, it's like, then that feeling is gone, right? It's that fleeting feeling. And it can be, purchasing something new. It can be an accolade. It can be an achievement. Oh, when I, or I can't wait to go to college. When I go to college, then blah, 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 blah.
Right.
That's going to give me this feeling of whatever. We're chasing this feeling of something on the outside of us that's going to somehow make us feel fulfilled on the inside, when what you just said a minute ago, Tia, is the key, is the feeling is already there. It's that just that inner knowing of who you are. That's all we need.
That's right.
All that other stuff is because we're not tapped into or connected to that feeling that is already in us. We just need to learn how to return to it.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that you can't still have a nice car and enjoy it, or that you can't have a college degree and be happy about it. We're not saying that either, because we do live in this world of form. We're just saying, when you put all your eggs in that basket of, when I get this, then I'm going to be happy.
Right.
When I lose 30 pounds, then I'm going to be happy. But then when you start putting the weight back on, it's like, oh, now I'm not happy.
No,
all of your happiness and not good, your well-being is attached to.
Right.
I did it for years. Up 10 pounds, down 10 pounds, up 10 pounds, down 10 pounds. I was so super happy when I lost it. But when I put it back on, it was like, then something was wrong.
Right.
Because I was looking for, it was an external factor that I was looking for to make me feel a certain way. Right. Or a house, when I get my house, and I can decorate, when I get this, then I'm going to be happy. Oh, when I get the right relationship, when I find my soulmate. What in God's name is a freaking soulmate? Like, does that even really not? Is that a thing that exists? Because again, you're looking. The Jerry Maguire movie.
Oh yeah, you
complete me. You complete me. No, you need to complete yourself.
Exactly. There's just the icing on the cake. If there's
the icing on the cake. You
are adding, but you're not. You already are complete. And I think I lost what I was going to say, but just that searching on the outside, nothing is on the outside that we can't have within us. And even if you have that fleeting joy of the new car or that's real. No one's saying that's not real.
Yeah.
But remember, it's not going to last forever. So we have this idea that we're going to find this peace, this happy, well, peace is not a good example because we can find peace in any moment. We're going to find this happiness. My life's going to be complete. This is it's an end point, and it's not. It is never an end point. The only thing you have is you. Truly.
Yeah.
That's it. So and it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of work.
Undo all these years of conditioning because we have it. We're not searching. It's us.
It's just taking off the masks.
Right.
And getting to the true authentic self.
Exactly. And remembering too, like you said, we live in a world of forms. So you can still have opinions and be neutral.
Yes.
You can still be an activist and be neutral. Yes. You can still want and desire that really nice car or that amazing vacation and be neutral, because you're knowing that vacation is not going to make my life better. It's just going to be the icing on the cake. It's just an experience.
It's an experience. And that's a good one that you bring up, because I used to do that with vacations. I used to attach so much expectation to when we would go away, because what did going away bring me? It brought me just a feeling of, I can breathe and exhale and let go of all my perfectionism that I, in the doing that I do all the time. So it was like a break from the perfectionism. But here's the thing. I can create that vacation feel right now if I want to.
And right now we kind of have to, because we can't go anywhere anyway.
Can't go anywhere. Exactly. So that's perfect that coronavirus has done that. And I have had to. I have not been on an airplane in 9 months. Right. And we were going away quite frequently before that. So have I gone anywhere as far as driving?
Boston.
to Boston to see, and Boston's not a relaxing place. It is a mind break in a sense, but you're on the go when you're in Boston because it's a city and you're walking. But I can go to the pond that's near my house,
which is beautiful when you share that picture.
Yeah, it's gorgeous there. And I can sit right here. I can sit in my chair and look out the window at the trees, and I can create that same feeling that I get on a vacation. And that's even better because I can create it anytime I want. I don't have to wait until I saved up enough money to get on an airplane and go somewhere.
Exactly. And once we find that, it's unlike anything else.
Yeah.
You know, because I didn't know how to access it. I didn't know it was even a possibility.
I didn't either.
It's taking that journey, that climbing your mountain, preparing for the journey, doing all those things, which is kind of a sneak peek into the course, which again is still in development. So we'll share more, but that is what it is. It's, you know, we did balancing your backpack to help reconnect to your body, mind, and spirit. And because that is the ultimate place you have to nourish. If there's only one thing you can do, that's what you need to do, is taking care of your body, mind, and spirit, which is what we did in balancing your backpack. And so now we're going to go to the next level. So we can help guide and support people to find what we're talking about here, that ability to find that peace and joy, or whatever word works for you, and let go of that mental chatter. But it takes time and practice, explorations and tools. But it's so worth it once you find it.
Yeah.
And and then you have to return to it.
And then you have to, it's a continual practice. And I was going to say that I can hear people saying or thinking, including myself at some point, was like, okay, yep, that sounds all well and good. You know, I don't have the time for that. I have too much of this going on. I've got so much going on. I got my kids home. I got to work from home. I've got all this. There's no way that I have the time or the energy to do what you guys are trying to say. But here's what I say. It is absolutely crucial to do it anyway. You have to do it anyway. Because I mean, you don't have to, but you can, and you can continue to live a life of suffering, right? Possibly suffering and struggle, and your stress, your climb up the mountain is going to be a much harder climb. And if you learn if you have some of these things in your backpack, again, more sneak peeks, but
because if you're attaching to the struggles, which is what I witness around in our culture, right? It's like there's some bravado of having stress and struggles.
I know.
You know,
it's exhausting though.
It is. And there's another way, and it takes time and it takes practice. But the thing is, it doesn't have to take the time amount that you think it does.
Exactly. Going full circle to my example in the beginning about all my stuff that I have to do. I'm only saying that's a story. And the fact that we say, I don't have time to do this, is a storyline. You're attached to your doing and everything you have going on, instead of just like, if you just take like little bite-sized moments to learn some of this and apply some of it, and just do it in the moment. That's all you really need.
Right. Which is what we did, which just wrapped up in balancing your backpack, you know, which is still available. It's still free. You know, we won't be going through it live with you if you sign up now, but all of the information is there. You can still get into the Facebook group and read all of that. So by all means, start there. If you don't want to start with our next course, you know, that's your choice. And I would really encourage you to do, because it's these little tiny things. And you have your whole lifetime to work on this, because it doesn't end.
Right.
And that doesn't mean to scare you, but its intention is to take the pressure off of it, making it become a to-do list. And is your peace, stillness a priority? Are you a priority in your life right now?
Yeah.
With many people, it's not, because it's scary to make yourself
for a people pleaser and an empath and a nurturer and a mom. Yeah. And people who do not feel worthy, they are not, you know, and I say that as a reformed people pleaser, empath, mom,
from experience,
nurturer from experience, that I did not put myself first all the time. It was definitely, so I get it. Like, I totally get where years ago, I would have been like, no way, I cannot do this. And I wasn't ready for all this.
And that's another part too, is
you have to
you're
be
ready
ready
when you're ready, because you have to take the time to do it.
And your point about it doesn't end is like, look how it still showed up for me just today in this episode. But now that I know that, I have a different way of looking at all that I have going on in my life. And it allows me the opportunity to feel more peace with it, to feel more stillness, to feel more empowered, more joy. Because if I just take each thing that I have going on in my life and I just am in the moment with it, that's the piece about flowing. Right now we're flowing with podcasts.
That's right.
Later, I'm going to flow with doing some stuff for the house. Tomorrow, we're going to flow with our course. Saturday, when I get there, I will just flow with my session. It'll just happen.
And it's also, you'll flow with the struggles that life presents you too. So it's not just the day-to-day to-do list.
It's the crises as well.
Exactly. Like when we are now, both of us are presented with a struggle or a crisis, we may get on the chatter and notice, but then we have the tool set to come back to the now.
Yeah.
To the now. And then we can make, the beauty of it is then when we're in that stillness, that neutrality, then we can make a conscious choice rather than reacting. So we can choose how to meet life. And with that neutrality, instead of going into the doom and gloom. And so, the only other thing I'll add in this conversation is putting yourself first is also putting your family and everyone else around you first too, because you're breaking these generational patterns. You can teach your kids there's another way, because they're going to get bombarded by culture no matter what.
They are.
Schools, teachers, college, work, whatever it is. But if you can show them by living it and practicing it, that's how we change generations and how we change really the world, I think.
Be the change you want. And then also on your last point about having situations is learning how to dance in the rain. I love that quote. It's just learning how to dance in the rain and just meet it. Doesn't mean that there aren't going to be the struggles and the crises like we've been saying all along. It's just learning how to dance in the rain. Man, like I think
maybe that's what we're calling this episode. Dancing.
Yes. Okay. Ooh, go Tia.
Hey, that was you. That was all you.
I didn't even think of it as a title, but yes.
Yeah. Okay. Dancing in the rain. Awesome. Well, this has been great. We could talk about this one forever, which is why we're creating more courses.
Yes.
So we can go deeper.
So excited about all of it. So
I love your epiphany between that episode and the last one, because it really in real time shows how this works and how quickly it can, because our breaks in between the recording 2 episodes
5 minutes.
Yeah. So in that moment, Kim was open and available, and it wasn't a forcing.
It was not forced at all.
It was an allowing.
Yeah. It literally, like I said, just came to me like divine inspiration.
But it was like you.
It wasn't me. It was the inner me. No, it was not outside. It came from me. Like, this is what's going on. I'm attaching this perfection mask. Yeah.
Amazing. And there's the mask again. So
wow. Yes. All right, everybody. Have a great day. This has been a huge, huge episode. So if you have any thoughts, any feedback, we would love to hear it. You can comment if you're watching on YouTube. You can always email us as well if you want to hear more of anything. Definitely. And, if you have a minute to just give us a review, we would love that as well.
Yep.
So
we always appreciate it. And we'll put in the show notes, which we have been doing, the link to our Teachable Unlocking Authenticity School. Yes. So you can just pop in there, whether you've done balance in your backpack or not. You can sign up for free and explore. Do it and just see what other course we've got some pretty fun
good courses in there. Absolutely.
And more to come.
And more to come. All right. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.